got an amazing story for you that I think is probably all too common in the world. And if you are someone who does this, stop it. Stop doing it. Get this thing out of your life immediately. And that thing, I'll tell you a story here in a second to illustrate this, but that thing is playing the victim. It's it's scanning the world and looking for opportunities where you're wronged, where people are doing you wrong, and you're just waiting. You're almost creating those experiences so that you can call it out, or you can be angry, or you can lash out at somebody. But you have the power to avoid that situation, intervene inside of that situation, take some action or some steps before it leads up to that moment. You could do something about it and you choose not to. If this is you, listen up. And if it's ever been you, listen up. And if you have someone in your life who does this, listen up. So let me go way back for a second because this is a good way to illustrate the point here. When I worked in addiction recovery services for years, I remember this one individual in treatment, and she said that she would intentionally create drama with her husband so that they could end up in a fight. Because if they ended up in a fight, she had justification to flee, to walk out the front door, slam the door, and what she would do is then she would go use drugs. And she knew this. She's like, anytime I wanted that, I just needed to be able to place the blame somewhere else, to justify my actions. And so I would cause a fight with my husband. I would storm out the door after we got into a fight, and I would go get high, and then I could blame him, or I could blame the negative emotions, or I could whatever it might have been, right? So it was a really amazing moment in her recovery because we then met together with her husband and we talked about it, and we got this out into the open, and we made an agreement which she could only do when she had a certain amount of sobriety under her belt, because then she had the awareness and she could be honest and she could be open to the direction and a new way of doing it. And so in that session we talked about, okay, husband, if you ever see some of this like self-sabotaging, fight starting, irrational kind of like anger, or like displaced some of these emotions, and like she's starting a fight, you know where it's coming from and you can call it out, and you don't even have to engage anymore in the fight. And he said, oh, I already know what I'm going to do. If that ever happens again, and it usually was about like the dishes or the laundry or some kind of house chore, right? Like, why didn't you do this, or you did it wrong? Like she would find anything to kind of get the emotions and the fight started. And he said, the next time, and it was always, I think it was often the dishes, if I remember right. The next time you start to come after me over the dishes or some other duty or task, chore in the house, I'm just going to tell you, okay, I understand what's going on here. And you can leave the house and you can go get high if you want. I'm not going to fight you, but first you need to go and wake up your daughters, and you need to tell them what you're about to go do and that you may never come back. Because one of these times it may just kill you. One of these times you may just go too far. You might get arrested. You might go back to jail or go to prison. Or so they headed this thing off. They were like, there's the precursor. I'm going to call it out now that I'm aware of it. I didn't even know she was doing that. Now that I know, I'm just going to call you out on it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to trigger your mind to think about your daughters, because those were the most important things to her. When she could stay in that sober state. And she's like, perfect. That will actually help me. That would help me so much if I start to feel like that angst to use again, or I'm triggered, or I'm kind of in that space of like, wanting to use and really just wanting to escape, because that's what use is all about anyway. She said that would help me so much to get my mind back focused on the things that I value the most, which it truly was her family and her two daughters. She had two daughters. And so that was amazing, right? It was like, recognize it and get out of it. because she was always trying to seek out a way to be the victim and to be angry at something to justify her own actions. Okay, so there's the story. Here's the scenario that I just witnessed and lived the other day. I went into a pizza place right by my office right after work. I went in, and as you walk in, there's really no space. There's not really an organized like line. There's this woman. She's sitting up against the window, just standing there. I walk in and I kind of look around, and she's not up at the register. So I assumed, and maybe something wrong on my part here too, right? But I assumed, oh, she's waiting because that's what all of us do after we order our food. We just stand to the side. So, okay, cool. She's ordered. I waited. I wait, a minute maybe. Nothing. All the young kids in the back are like getting pizza and orders and everything all together. So I just go stand up by the register. I'm like, I'll just wait here. I'll let them know by me standing here that I'm ready to order. So this one kid, he finishes helping one customer, and then he comes to the cash register and he's like, "What can I get you?" And then this woman says, "Are you even going to ask what I want?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were waiting in line. Go ahead." She's like, "No, no, I'm just waiting to see how long it's going to take for him to help me, for him to acknowledge me or ask me what I want." And my whole thinking was like, well, then just say something. Like just say, "Oh, I'm in line." Like when I went to the register, she could have said, "Oh, I'm in line." Now here's my ownership in it too, because I'm not blind to this. I also, because I also could have asked her, "Have you ordered yet? Are you in line?" And I went on some assumptions, right? Most of us order and then we stand to the side, and that's what it appeared. But she was like, she even said very openly, "Oh, I was just waiting. I was just waiting to see if he was ever going to help me." And you guys, this kid was like maybe 16. And I'm a frequent visitor to this pizza place. Hey, end of the week, Friday. I saw a meme the other day that said, "I used to think my parents were really cool by bringing pizza home every Friday. Now I just realized that they were completely exhausted. And I have never related to something more in my life." So, yeah, typically every Friday, after work, I just drive right over, I pick up pizza and I go home. So I've been in there quite frequently. I have never seen this kid before. And my mind was like, he's brand new. This kid is brand new. And this lady is like in attack mode. She is ready. And she's even setting it up so that she has justification to attack this kid, who, by the way, he's like waiting for her to take initiation. Like he just started. Like if you haven't ordered, step up to the register, lady. Like we all know this is how it works. Okay, so she's like, "I'm just waiting," and I'm like, "That's fine. Go ahead. I didn't know you hadn't ordered." No, no, you go ahead now. You just go. You just go. I'm just gonna wait here and see if he's gonna ask me. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm not engaging with that. Like, cool, whatever. Like, if you want to sit there and be inside of your victim mode, like, go for it. I'm gonna order. I order, I step aside, and then she really showed up for a fight, because then she goes to him and she didn't even want to order. She just had a question. And she said, I don't know, she had a bunch of pizza she was ordering the next day or 2 days, something. She's like, "I have a big order that I'm going to place at 10 in the morning for later in the day." And I think it was like, so tomorrow. She's like, are you going to answer the phone if I call?" And he's like, "Yeah, here's the card for the store, and that's the number to the direct line." And she's like, "Yes, but will someone actually answer the phone?" He's like, "Yeah, like the phone will ring and somebody will answer." And she kept going. She went like 6 or 7 times asking the same question. "But will someone answer the phone? Will someone pick the phone up?" And he's like, "Yeah, yes, that's the number to the store." And she said it one more time. And I swear I was so ready. I was so ready. But she said, "Okay, so if I call, someone will pick that phone up." And I was about to say, like, you've asked the question 6 times now, Karen. I don't know if that's her name, probably was. Um, like either you don't trust enough in what he's telling you, which why don't you just go to a different pizza place if you really have that little trust in what's happening, just go somewhere else. And if you're really that concerned, I mean, you drove here today to come ask the question. So come here tomorrow at 10 a.m. and order your pizza and come back hours later and pick it up. Like I was so ready, but I was like, okay, we're not going to go there for a second. What I am going to do though is once she leaves, I'm going to reinforce this with the kid. And I already thought this kid is here. He's brand new. I know he's brand new. I mean, like I said, I'm a frequent flyer in this pizza place. And then another customer came in and said, is this place new? How long have you been here? And she was asking how long has the store been at this location because Google Maps wasn't even updated. And he thought she was asking how long he personally had been there. And he's like, oh, this is only my second week. And she was saying, how long's the store been there? But he was like, how long have I personally been here? I've been here 2 weeks. And I was like, I knew it. I knew this kid was brand new. And poor kid. So I just reinforced it to him. I'm like, hey, man, keep up the good work. Like Fridays are busy. It gets crazy in here. There's so many orders. You're doing a great job. Don't sweat. Like some people come in and they're just on something. And you just stay calm and keep doing your best. And he appreciated that and was like, okay, okay. But I left thinking, I left thinking, um, if people really want to find something to be upset about and to be offended, they will. And you could be doing good no matter what field you're in or what area of your life you're focused on. You could be doing an amazing job and people are going to hate you. People are going to criticize you. So today's reminder is you got to get one, don't be a victim. Don't be a victim of things. Don't seek out opportunities to go into the victim mindset. You're not getting anywhere from that. You're not getting that way. Lesson number two, bring some compassion to the world. You don't know what kid has been at his job for a week. And my son just got his first job ever, right? He's 14. He just got his first job. And I hope people are kind to him if he messes up or if he's uncertain of what he's supposed to do. Because man, people are just nasty. And there are some people out in the world that truly they're just not nice people. That's the truth. There's people who just aren't good. There's people who are just mean. There's people who, for whatever hurt they've gone through from their past, and that's no excuse, by the way. Um, but they want to just they just feel like they have to live in this victim place and they're entitled and everybody should accommodate to them. Don't be that person. If you have some stuff from your past, deal with it. Go figure it out. Go visit with somebody. Give me a call. Let's set up an appointment. Let's clear some of that out. You don't deserve to carry that kind of hurt and pain around to where you go around and you're that person to others. Don't be that. Don't be that. Like there's a kid out there that you're about to lash out on and he has no clue what he's doing anyway. And you don't feel good anyway. You leave and like you don't feel any better. Anyway, so don't take a little inventory of yourself. Are there things that you're holding on to that keeps you stuck in victim mode? Are you sabotaging relationships or situations so you can justify your own crappy behaviors? Stop it today. Make a commitment. No more. Make a list of those things if you're doing it. And hey, it's okay. It's okay. I think I do it too. In fact, I know I do it. I've looked within my own marriage before or with my kids before, and I'm like, I'm going to let this unfold and then I'm going to use that thing against them. I've done that before. I'm as human as the next, right? I'm waiting, I'm waiting till the very end of the day. I could easily remind my son, hey, dude, it's trash day. Take it out. And there's no sweat off my back to do that, right? We all need reminders, especially for kids. But I haven't in the past. I've waited and then they go to bed and then I angrily go take the trash out to the street, right? And then in the next morning, I'm like, well, I took the garbage out again for you. And it's like, why do you do that, Craig? Don't do that stuff. That's not cool. What are you getting out of it? You're just making them feel smaller. You're robbing them of confidence. When really I could assist, I could set them up to succeed. I could set them up to be like, I crushed it this week on my chores, Dad. Thanks for the reminder. I almost forgot Thursday night to take the garbage out. And you said, hey, before you go to bed, get that trash out so you can get that check mark, so you can get that bonus, so you can get that allowance or whatever it was, right? And I was like, but for some reason I had to feel like I needed a little upper hand on something. I've done this before. I'm being very open with you. And you have too. And so here's the challenge and here's the encouragement. Make an inventory of these little moments, these trash can moments, like in my case, and let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of them. Let's set people and ourselves up for success by being accountable, by taking ownership, by being compassionate, by being that good person and not, spilling over on other people with our own wounds and our own emotional discomforts and our own, um, you know, unhealed trauma and hurts. Like, it's not cool. Don't do it. People probably really are trying the best they can at these places. And um, your lack of trust does not mean that they're not doing a good job. And quit being a victim. All right, I'm done. That's it. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Share this with someone um, gently who needs the reminding. Gently send it to them. Maybe you even send it and be like, whoops, that was not the one I wanted you to send to, but listen to it anyway. I'm just kidding. Send it to them. Be open, be honest, be like, I think you could benefit from this. Let's spread the word. Let's spread the word here on this message. And I appreciate you all. And I'll see you all later.